Welcome to Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. This is your go-to source for practical advice and support while you go through the divorce process. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll cover a variety of topics such as child custody, property division, and self-care. Together, we'll explore emotional, financial, and legal aspects of divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here's your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hello and welcome to this unscripted edition of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And today I'm going to be kind of a one-off, if you will, on a topic. And I've thrown away the script. I've thrown away the outline. It's just me and the microphone. And so today's topic is really going to be about, the grind of getting divorced, the process. You've already decided to get a divorce. The papers are filed, and now you got this space of all the legal pieces, parts, and it's, and how long it's going to take and everything else that goes with it. Before you actually get to the divorce being finalized and moving on to the next stage. So when it comes to the divorce process, I call it a grind. And the reality is that it is a grind. It doesn't matter if it's an amicable divorce. It doesn't matter if it's a contested divorce. The process is the process that you have to go through, and it's going to take more time than you probably want. It could potentially cost more than you want because it's taking more time. And while there really isn't a whole lot you can do to change things, I mean, there are ways you can speed it up and stuff. However, you also have to have a future ex-spouse who agrees with the process that you want to take to either reduce costs or get through the process quicker. Because as it grinds on you, it's going to try to wear you down, and you really can't let it. You're going to have to find ways to release the stress and tension. And I talk a lot on the podcast about support networks, family, friends, other, support groups that could help. But a lot of it has to do with just releasing, say, the tension, releasing the anxiety, releasing the angst, and getting to a point where you have some clarity and some creativity and some ways of, looking at the end result here, at the end of the process, and getting through this part of it. So it's very much needed. Really, the self-care portion is really significant, especially if you're in a contested divorce where you got a lot of court hearings and things back and forth with the attorneys. The grind is really going to show up on those contested situations. And there's no right or wrong here. It's more of being self-aware about what's really taking place and really what to expect. You're not going to want to just let this thing run out forever if you have, there's a lot to it, but hopefully you're able to at least have some kind of communication with your future ex that you can keep things moving along. If you can just see the process moving along, then you know that the end is coming closer and closer. If the process stalls or one spouse is taking longer or taking all the time they want to get back the information to you and your attorney kind of thing, it takes a toll. It really does. And not just on you, but let's say you have kids. It's going to take a toll on your kids as well, because they have that uncertainty and they have all that anxiety over what is it going to be like after the process is over. We're trying to do all this so you may have a job. And goodness, the reality is you got kids, you have a job, and you're trying to get through the divorce process. It's going to be one of the most challenging times in your life. And when you look back on it, you're going to be like, wow, I made it through that. And gosh, I'm stronger than I think I am. So we want to, do what you can to keep yourself mentally sharp so you can make good decisions as you get through this process. And I assure you, the process does come to an end at some point, and you will be able to move on. So I want to thank you for joining me on this unscripted episode of Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. And I say this all the time, but really, if you have questions on the topic, on financial planning issues, just let me know. I'm here to help. And divorce is not the end of your story, it is the start of your next great chapter. And we'll see you on a future episode of Breaking Ties. Take care.